हरिः ॐ गुरुर्ब्रह्मा गुरुर्विष्णु गुरुर्देवो महेश्वरः गुरुः साक्षात् परं ब्रह्म तस्मै श्री गुरवे नमः. नमस्कारं स्मास्ट. ज्ञानानन्दमयं देवं निर्मलस्फटिकाकृतिम् आधारं सर्वविद्यानां हयग्रीवमुपास्महे. हयग्रीव हयग्रीव हयग्रीवेति यो वदेत् तस्य निस्सरते वाणी जह्नुकन्या प्रवाहवतु. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Good evening to all of you and welcome to the Biochemic Salts class. My salutations to all the homeo masters, Master A.K. Garu, Dr. Chalapati Garu, Dr. Hanneman, and other doctors. And my special salutations to Dr. Satyanarayana Garu. He has given me this opportunity to talk to you. He asked me to tell the biochemics in a very brief manner, as Dr. Hanamaya Garu has already covered it well. So I just want to refresh your memory. You have already attended 8 classes by Dr. Hanamaya Garu. So I have covered the salts, few salts. Now I will cover some salts, so that all the 12 we will discuss. We'll try to finish today. Otherwise, next Wednesday we will finish the 12 salts. I will try to do today itself. Biochemic salts, as already told, the theory of replenishment. When there is deficiency of a particular salt in the bloodstream, some symptoms will come out, and to cure those symptoms, we need to replenish it in a potentized way. Why do we give in X potency? Because X potency directly suits and it directly goes to the bloodstream and joins there. Of course, it works through only central nervous system, and it works through the pulsating system, and very easily it goes to the mainstream. So that is the reason. And we have discussed in the last class up to caliphas. We have covered 3 calcium salts, and also we have covered caliphas and calimur. We have covered. So now we will take up calisulfuricum. Calisulfuricum, we call it as KS, calisulfuricum. This is the potassium sulfate. Potassium is a very important thing for body, and we have to take the potassium through natural food, like banana will have potassium. And when potassium is less or sodium is less, there will be certain symptoms. So potassium is one of the very important ingredient. So this calisulf is a medicine, particularly we use. It is a third stage of inflammation. First stage of inflammation, ferrumphos we will give. Second stage, when calimur will work. And third stage of inflammation, this is calisulfuricum. This is a very important drug that we use in biochemic salts. And the main symptom you have to understand in calisulf is yellow mucus discharges. Mucus discharges will be of yellow color. That denotes the inflammation, third stage of inflammations. So this is a yellow mucus discharges from anywhere, maybe through sputum or through discharge in the ear, it will work. And there will be temperature, fever may be there, and fever generally is aggravated during evening. And the patient is better in cool open air. This is very important indication for calisulfuricum. And diseases because of some eruptions that were suppressed and they come out. This is the one of the important drugs. And there will be sweating will be there. In the fevers, if ferromphos fails to relieve the patient from fever, you can think of sulfuricum. The main mind symptom is the patient is irritable, and there will be anxiety in the evening, and the patient may have fear of falling. He will be expressing, I may fall, like that. And he cannot take mental strain, all the symptoms aggravated on exertion of the mind work. And the patient is always in a hurry. In homeopathy, we see this symptom in urgent or nitricum, and patient is also timid. There will be vertigo. It is a very common symptom we find here. And there will be headache. Headache is better in cool open air, but worse in warm room, like pulsatilla. This symptom you can see in pulsatilla in homeopathy. And hair fall is one of the very important symptom of Kali-sulph and natrium. Kali-sulph is a very useful remedy because many patients will be asking medicine for hair fall. In homeopathy, you cannot select a remedy based on such symptoms, but in biochemics also you can select Kali-sulph for hair fall. Totally baldness also, sometimes it works. And for dandruff is there, natrium you can think of, and headaches will be there. They are more when moving head from side to side. If you, the headache, he says that if I move head from side to side, headache is more. That is one of the important symptom. And scalp scaling will be there. And dandruff, of course, is one important symptom in Kali-sulph. And patient has problem with ears, impaired hearing. There will be yellow discharges from the ears. It is the best suitable remedy for yellow discharges from the ears for children as well as the old persons also. And there will be some watery discharge, yellow matter will be coming out of the ear. The pain, of course, earache will be there. And patient has cold, again with yellow expectoration. When he spits out, it will be yellow phlegm will be there. And patient feels generally worse in the evening or in a hot, heated room that I told you. Next comes, there will be pain in the face also, and there will be swelling of the lower lips, and tongue is coated yellow. So you have to ask the patient to show the tongue. There will be yellow coating will be there. There will be generally dryness and a constriction of the throat. You will be hacking the mucus, try to spit it out. Tonsillitis, I told you Calimore, and also Kali-sulph is one of the chief remedies. And he can't swallow, difficult in swallowing. And gastric problems will be there for Kali-sulph. There will be burning heat in the stomach, burning thirst, more thirsty. There will be feeling of vomiting, nausea will be there. And of course, again, yellow discharges will be there. Even the stools will be yellow. That is, normally it is yellow, but specifically yellow with diarrhea will be like that. Loose motions will be there. And there will be pain in the stomach that you can see the patient that he says that there is pain in the stomach. And there will be itching in the anus, violent itching in the anus, it will be there. And stools will be of very bad smell. And white discharge, calcareous, I told, even Kali-sulph is one of the remedies. If this yellow discharge, others are there, you can think of Kali-sulph. And while passing urine, it is painful, and dribbling will be there, and albumin will be present in the urine. This is one of the medicines for these type of symptoms. And very important part covered is all Kalis cover the chest respiration symptoms. So there will be bronchial asthma will be there for this patient with yellow expectoration, distinctly yellow, sometimes greenish may be there. Pneumonia is the second phase of COVID. We gave this medicine to many. And there will be rattling in the chest. In homeopathy, we use antimonium tartaricum, biochemical salts calimur and calisulf. If cold is more, even natron sulf. I am going to touch natron sulf now after this remedies. So there will be rattling in chest. Uh, Another is he wants oxygen. That is again in homeopathy we have used vanadium metallicum, but in biochemical salts, kali sulf is one of the best medicine, and he wants cool air. Suppose some 3-4 members sitting with him on the bed, he will say, "No, go away. I want cool air." Okay, this is one of the important symptoms, and there will be neuralgic pains. Sleep is restless. He can't get full sleep and wakes up early, and also he wakes up frequently. This is one of the symptoms. And temperature also, in the evening temperature goes up and then up to midnight, then it comes down again. So intermittent fever comes and goes, yellow discharges, yellow tongue. These are the yellow is the common word we hear, and hair fall is the common word that we have to see. And asthmatic or respiration problems, kali sulf is of much use. And general aggravation, you'll see, I told you in the heated room, better in the cool air. This is kali sulfuricum, kali it as kali sulf. Next, we have taken calcium 3 salts and potassium 3 salts. Now we go for natrum 3 salts. We have sodium 3 salts, potassium 3 salts, calcium 3 salts, 9. And remaining 3 are magnesium phosphoricum, and Silesia. After finishing natrum, we will go for those 3 so that all the 12 we will cover. Now in the sodium salts, first salt, what we see in the natrum is natrum muriaticum. This is the sodium chloride or the common salt what we use in our kitchen. Salt is a medicine. Remember why we ask the patients to use less salt, because salt is a medicine. You should never take more salt. There are people have the habit of adding salt to everything. Even taking buttermilk, rice, or normal buttermilk, they want salt. And South Indians, as you know, mostly use pickles with a lot of salts. Salt is a medicine. You should use in a very minimal quantity. To be healthy, your total intake of salt should not be more than 2.5 grams per day, 2.5 grams. Remember, if 4 members are there, it must be 10 grams. That means if you purchase a 1 kg sugar salt, 1 kg salt, it is for 3 months. You should not purchase. If there are 4 members, remember today you purchase the salt packet 1 kg, note down the date, and that should come for minimum of 3 months, 90 to 100 days. Then you are healthy. And if even more than this, in addition to this, we will use pickles also sometimes, or sometimes snacks like chips. Should not use or should not eat chips. Chips are very dangerous to the body. Any salt added is dangerous, and salt also, China salt is much more dangerous. Why the even youngsters like 30 years, 40 years, they are getting BP, sugar, all these things. Even for sugar, salt is one of the causes. Remember. So minimum usage of salt, we recommend that to be healthy. For taste, you have to add the salt. That is why salt is called as ruchi in Telugu and Kannada. We call it as ruchi. Ruchi means it adds taste to the preparation what you have done for eating. So never use more salt. So undue salt eating, if you take more salt, the side effects or the health is disturbed in this way. Sometimes constipation, sometimes chronic diarrhea, and appetite is more abnormal appetite and also more thirsty. In Kannada, there is one proverb, Uppu tindava neeru kudibeku. Those who eat salt, they have to take more water. So this is one of the side effects of eating more salt. Then blood will be thinned, slow circulation, lower temperature, constant feeling of coldness, and dandruff is one of the symptoms. Those who take more salt, dandruff will be there, and also hair fall will be there. So these are some of the symptoms. If we take more salt, there will be frequent attacks of cold for those who take more salt. This also remember. Now the natramur, that is sodium chloride, when taken in a biochemic form, even homeopathically, this is a wonderful medicine. Homeopathic medicine is prepared in centesimal potency, whereas biochemic medicine is prepared in decimal potency. Homeopathic medicine works in deeper layers, and biochemics preparation will work in the peripheral layers. This you remember. Whatever medicines are available in biochemic salts, they are available in homeopathy also. Symptoms, a little difference will be there. The more mind symptoms, the more internal symptoms. This is another medicines we have to use in centesimal potency when there is more internal symptoms. More external symptoms, you can go for simple biochemic salts. So, it is a very important medicine in using where there will be malnutrition, or sometimes you will find patient is very emaciated, will not pick up the health. Great emaciation. They eat more, yet the body's absorption capacity is less. Such people, natramur, if we give in low potency 6x, it works wonders. I have given to many people. And anemia will be there, bloodlessness, hemoglobin will be very less. Then the patient will have some sort of weakness and hair fall, dandruff, and the patient will be, all the mucous membranes are dry. Like in homeopathy, we use bryonia and also natramur. In homeopathy, also patient says dry, mouth is dry, even skin is dry. Sometimes skin is oily, natramur, and also it is dry. Both homeopathy, that is natramur will work for both. Next, the patient will have mucus, frothy mucus will be there. The tongue has a clean, shiny appearance and puffy with a pasty coat will be there on the tongue. The patient, there will be variation in the blood pressure levels. Sometimes the patient will suddenly collapse. In such case, you have to use 5 pills in just a half glass of water. Then you make him drink. Sudden collapse, he will be normal. And natramur is, please note down if you have pen and paper, natramur is one of the best remedies for sunstroke. SUN sun, not SON. SUN sunstroke during summer, natramur 6x will help for us to avoid the dehydration. It balances the water in the body. And for those, there is imbalance of water, there will be swelling in the foot or any imbalance in the anywhere in the body. Natramur is one of the best remedies. Remember, sunstroke, summer, this is a very great remedy. A sudden collapse is there, you can give him natramur. Then acute gastroenteritis will be there. Weakness, I told you already, great weakness after diarrhea or vomitings, and it is there, you can give artery dose of natramur 6x. Even where the chest heart problem is there, natramur will work a lot. So salt should be regulated in our regular diet. We should not take too much salt. Only minimum should be taken. That is what I wanted to tell you. And when the same salt taken in the potentized form, it works wonders. There are good provings are there and wonders you can see with Natromore. Just important points to note down. There are only 12 remedies. You can easily use them. Easily. Anybody can use it. And little knowledge is required. If you attend these biochemical salts classes, you can use it without any problem. I told you in the last class, even salts, all the 12 salts, we can send to your home by courier. If you ask, we will give the address. A hopeless feeling about the future. And another important symptom, Natromure has homeopathy and also biochemic. Consolation aggravates. If you want to soothe him, nothing, nothing, then you'll get what, nothing, what you are talking, this and that. So he will be getting irritated when consolation is there, and there will be a depression tendency to dwell on previous issues, disagreeable issues, and like pulsatilla is ready to shed tears roll down, and constipation is one of the symptoms, and brain fag, totally out exhausted, weak memory, and these are the important symptoms of the mind. Natromore, sodium chloride, NM. We call it as NM. Then headaches mainly in forehead and temples, semilateral, congestive type. Headaches are worse in the morning, and also headaches aggravate along with the journey of the sun. They start in the morning, aggravate up to afternoon. Then when the sun starts going down, even headache comes down. That is why Natromere is always better recommended after 2 p.m. to be used after 2 p.m. or in the evening or before going to bed. This is the best medicine. Different types of headaches. Natromere will have different types of headaches and generally worse in the morning. I told you up to afternoon it will be worse, and there will be itching, eruptions, dandruff, hair fall, and eyes also, sight is diminished. Next, frontal eye pain will be there, and in the ears, of course, hearing is difficult. There will be some roaring sound in the ears. He will be hearing. Calimure and Natromure, these are the best remedies for ear problem and also eye problem. And when he is eating, there will be cracking sound when chewing. This you can observe in Natromuriaticum. And then nose, there will be flu may be there, and sometimes dry discharges. There will be some dryness. I told you this is one of the symptoms, and loss of smell and taste. This we find in COVID. This is there in Natromure also. Loss of smell and taste. Then there will be bleeding from the nose. We call it as epistaxis, a technical term, and general dryness will be there. And this is the best medicine for cough, dry cough. Calimure we give, Natromure also works. And during summer, this is the medicine we use very frequently. This is you have to remember this. And dryness of the tongue and mouth will be there. And throat, neck emaciated. There will be watery stools will be there. Sometimes constipation, sometimes dry stools, that is diarrhea also will be there sometimes. And violent thirst is one of the very important symptom. Like bryonia, he takes more water at a time, and he does not like bread. Aversion to bread is one of the symptoms. And there will be bleeding in the anus, that is piles also. It is one of the best medicine with stitches. And gonorrhea patients where chronic gonorrhea is there, Natromure is one of the best medicines. And morning sickness for pregnant ladies, you can give morning sickness. Vomitings will be there for pregnant ladies. particularly first 2 months, 3 months, and first delivery mostly. In second and third delivery also it will be there sometimes. And dry, short cough during day, and bronchitis also. This is the calisulfate told, natron sulfur, natron also is one of the best medicines. Then backache relieved by lying on something hard. The patient, if you ask him when you are better, if I lie on something hard, I feel better, sir. This is a backache is better by lying on hard. Then nervous weakness will be there. Even patient may go for paralysis also. And there is debility, weakness is one of the very important symptoms. And he takes cold easily. Some patients will say natron sulf and natron sulf. Next, I'll tell you. Cold is one of the symptoms, and more sleep, excessive sleep. This is one symptom because brain fag is there. He wants to sleep for more time, but sleep is restless and sleeps late. This is one of the symptoms. And fever, of course, is there. You note down one point. Whenever there is a more abuse of quinine, post effects of quinine, natramir is one of the best medicines. Of course, those who are living in damp regions, natron sulf and natramor, both you can use. All affections with watery blisters, vesicles on the skin, there will be that problem. And effects of insect bites. Some insect has bitten. After that, some problem is there. Natramir is one of the best medicines. So it is a chief remedy for anemia. Anemia already I told Galisulf is there, and also natramir. Why anemia comes? Because of more intake of salt. That is anemia. This is one of the best remedies. And calcarea fast also I told you. This is one of the iron tonics. Ferrum fast is there, I tell you. And natramir is also one of the important remedies. And emaciation while eating well. He will be taking good food, but he will not gain the strength or the body. So this is emaciation while eating well. This is one of the symptoms of natrum muriaticum. And the symptoms are generally worse in the morning and better by evening. And this is the natrum muriaticum. So you can think of important symptom is very important symptom is sunstroke, and then anemia, then dryness. That is, these are the three important symptoms of natramur, and this is the best medicine for dandruff. Even lice for the ladies, lice will come. You give natramur 6x, lice will disappear. It's how they go, we don't know. The taste is changed there. So they will leave the. I have gone to many girls with the lice. They are suffering from lot of lice. We call it as pelu in Telugu. So that for that, natramir is one of the best remedies. And body will be always oily body, natramir. This is sometimes dry, sometimes oily. More oily. Okay, this is natramir. Next salt in sodium is natrum phosphoricum. We call it as NP, natrum phosphoricum. NP, it is sodium phosphate. And this is one of the best remedies for all kinds of gastric derangements. Natrum phos is one remedy where you can see this is one of the very important remedy for gastric derangements. Whenever there is a gastric problem, think of natrum phosphoricum. And also diarrhea, stomach pain. Stomach pain, we have magnesia phos and also natrum phos. Natrum phos is a base, so wherever there is more acid, natrum phos will neutralize it. This is the liver is the main affected part when you have to use the natrum phos. This is the medicine to neutralize the fatty acid food, and thin, moist coating on the tongue. The soft palate also has a yellowish, creamy look. Sour erectations, belching, burping. This is natron fast is the best medicine we can think of. And there will be diarrhea, sometimes greenish, sometimes yellowish. So diarrhea, small doses of natron fast, that is 6x potency if you give. The stomach disorders, gastric disorders will become normal. In the mind front, patient is having anxiety and there is a fear that something may happen. That would be there. And the patient is dull without any ambition, in a depressive mood, and imagines and waking at night that pieces of furniture or persons. There will be a sofa in the hall. You think that a person is there, not the sofa. This is one mind symptom. Patient is nervous, irritable, and small things also will irritate him much. There will be general prostration of the mind where he cannot use it much, and there will be vertigo because of the gastric derangements. With gastric derangements and eyes, there will be a discharge of golden yellow. For calisol, we told yellow. This is a golden yellow. And main, I told you main is stomach, abdominal discharges, and children will be grinding the teeth during sleep. This is one symptom. Natrum phosphoricum is having, and inflammation of any part of the throat. This is the natrum phos will work. The acidity, sour risings due to excess of acids, gastric abrasions, ulcerations, pain after food on spot, there will be pain, vomitings of sour things, that is one symptom he's having, and nausea and vomiting of acid fluids, that is one symptom, empty organ sensation in the stomach, and habitual constipation with occasional attacks of diarrhea. Generally habitual constipation. So no motion, no motion. Suppose he will be suffering. One day he will get loose motions continuously. So both are there for this medicine, that is in young children. And worms, WRMS. Worms, this is one of the best biochemical remedy for natrum fast. White or green stools or yellow stools with diarrhea. And I told you liver is the main part. So jaundice, this is another very good medicines. There will be flatulence, downward gas will be there. And this is one of the best medicines for all kinds of gastric derangements. This you remember. And morning sickness, of course. Morning sickness means in pregnant ladies, they vomit. For them, if there is sour erectations are there, you can think of natrum phosphoricum. So whenever patient comes and says, too much gas, sir, so natrum phos you can think of. And for diarrhea, this is the another very indicated remedy. Sleep is restless. Of course, the worms are there, I told you, worms are there. And for pregnant ladies, generally, um, there will be morning vomitings, I told you. And another important point is those who are not getting the conception. Conception is difficult. For such cases, you have to advise them to avoid sweets. Sweet and salt, both are white poisons we are consuming, like food, but they are poisons. This you please remember. And of course, jaundice, I told you, is one of the very important remedy for jaundice. That's all. Natrum phosphoricum. And the third salt of natrum is natrum sulfuricum. We call it as NS. This is one of the ingredients of CCF, what Dr. Satyanarayana has developed. That is for COVID, we are using CCF for all the patients almost. One of the best remedies and important remedies is natrum sulfuricum. This is sodium sulfate of soda, they call it as. And natron sulfur, remember, this is cold is the main important symptom. discharges from ears. One of the very important symptom is cold. Okay. Next, there will be a dirty greenish gray or greenish brown coating on the root of the tongue and aggravation on lying on left side. This is the one important symptom. Okay. And natramure and natron sulf, you can combine when symptoms are there. In biochemic salts, a combination of salts are permitted, not in homeopathy. This you remember. This is very important symptom. Point you have to note down. So, the patient has a suicidal tendency and then he has to stop himself from not committing it, and mental troubles arising from fall or injuries to the head. This you remember in homeopathy, this is one of the best remedies. All types of head injuries. You have to give one dose only in 200 potency, not 6x. When there is a history of fall and injury to the head, think of one dose of natron sulf in 200 potency. And natron sulf, almost symptoms are aggravated near the seashore. So we go to Visakhapatnam or Kolkata or anywhere, Bombay, sea coast. Natron sulf, because of that, is getting cold, getting frequent problems. Natron sulf is one of the best remedies. And of course, headache and vertigo is there. Gastric derangement for natron sulf also is there. And headache with giddiness, that will be one symptom you can find. And eyes, there will be yellowness and large blister like granulations with burning lacrimation, burning in the edge of the lids, and earache will be there, where a nose bleeding is one symptom. Nose bleeding is one of the symptoms during menses. We call it as vicarious menstruation. Instead of downgoing blood will come through nose. Nose bleed is one of the symptoms, and itching will be there. And of course, jaundice, natrons will work. So natron sulf is one of the very important remedies for jaundice. And there will be bitter taste in the mouth, full of thick and tenacious white coating will be there. And the patient is very dirty. Brownish green coating sometimes will be there. Toothache, better by tobacco, smoke and cool air, and also holding cold water in mouth. Like coffee has a, in homeopathy we give coffee, better by cold water. Toothache, this is one of the important remedies. And of course, as natron fast works, this is also one of the best gastric derangements, gastric problems, vomiting of salty, greenish water. But remember, a cold running nose is one of the very important symptom of natron sulfuricum. Now in COVID, you just see Omicron, cold, cough, then fever. So these three are there. So we have given combination of FP12X, CP6X, natron sulf 6X, and calimur 6X. This we call it as CCF. It is doing wonders. Thanks to Dr. Satyanarayana garu. And even natron sulf symptoms are worse on lying on left side. And remember, this is one of the best medicines for gallstones. We have told calcarea floor, we have told, and natron sulf also is there when other symptoms tally. Here also you have to see the totality. Near totality must always be there. So natron sulf is also one of the remedies for diabetes. You can give califas. I told about diabetes. Califas and natron sulf. These are the two remedies which control the diabetic levels of the patient. Remember. And those who tend to get more cold, natron sulf. Those who tend to become more weak, califas. So that you have to see natron sulf and califas both can be used. Then asthma is one of the chief remedies of natron sulf, and It is worse every change or damp weather. In dry weather, natramure, damp weather, natron sulf. This you remember. It's a cold, damp weather, natron sulf, dry weather, cold, natrum muriaticum. So this is one of the best cold remedies for rainy season, winter season, etc. Okay. When there is no damp weather, then natramure is a medicine that you have to think. Then there will be pains. One of the symptoms is pains, tired feeling, restless. He wants to desire to move but cannot move because of the tiredness, and sleep drowsiness will be there. This is forenoon and while reading. Many people have this problem. They take the book and they sleep. Natrons of 6 cents. You give 2 tablets and then you see the result. This is one of the important remedies to use for all kinds of jaundiced skin. Of course, common symptoms like itching and other skin problems will be there for natrum sulfuricum also. And there are many common symptoms both in natrum sulf and natrum mure. You can see both. And in homeopathy, we can think of the bryonia. Okay. These are the 3 salts of natrum. Now we go for ferrum phos. Ferrum phos is called, the nickname for ferrum phos is fever phos. Fever, fever phos. So there is thing, fever is there, you can think of ferrum phos. It is called FP, ferrum phos. And this is iron phosphate, phosphate of iron. We call it as common name is phosphate of iron. And this is the best medicine for first stage of inflammation. When there is inflammation, first stage, like an injury, after injury there is small inflammation, you can think of ferrum phos. So somebody is asking the number of the supplier of biochemical salts. Dharamveer is his name. Dharamveer 98854 98854 81883 81883. Dharamveer 98854 81883 is the number of that person who is manufacturing the homeo remedies. That is 12 biochemical salts and about 20 homeo remedies given free. Along with that, they will come to you by courier. You need not go and purchase. So that is Dharamveer contact. That is the number. Then ferrum phos is a medicine for all kinds of fevers and fresh wounds. This is another best medicine. And anemia, or the hemoglobin less hemoglobin. Ferrum phos you can think. And in mind symptoms, if patient is dull, he has lost the hope of the future, and courage will not be there. He will feel something disgusted, and inability to command, or he will not get right words to speak sometimes. This is one of the symptoms. And regarding the mind, there will be rush of blood to the head. Headache is there. Almost I told you, all the biochemical salts have headache. You have to see the symptoms and then give. So the head is painful. Soreness to touch. You cannot touch. Touch aggravates the dull right-sided headache. This is one of the important remedies. And eyes, in the eyes, EYES, inflamed eyes, red. Ferrum phos has one quality of redness. Fever will be there. Inflammation will be there. Congestion will be there. And in the ears, if you take the first stage of inflammation of the ear, inner ear, this is one of the best remedies. And first stage of colds, so we told natron sulf, cold is there, kali sulf is there, and also ferrum phos, first stage of colds. Generally it is with fever, it will be there. And nosebleed, because blood is, iron is the main content of blood. So this is one important medicine for anemia. And ferrum phos also is useful for toothache, worse with hot water. Hot. Okay, this is one symptom. Throat ulceration will be there, sore throat, dry, red, inflamed, and painful throat. This is one of the symptoms. And this ferrum phos is also useful for aversion to milk and meat. Of course, aversion to meat only for those who eat meat. So, desire for some stimulant, you want something. So there will be a gastritis will be there with the first stage of inflammation. This is ferrum phos is the medicine, and there will be omitting of red blood. Ferrum phos you can think of. Then first stage of all gastric derangements and piles. This is also medicine for piles, and the patient cannot hold the urine before he goes to the bathroom. Urine passes out, incontinence we call it as. That is also ferrum phos, and kali phos is the remedy for this type of symptoms. Then there will be acute fever will be there. Respiratory problems also will come. Ferrum phos in 12x is we are going in combination of CCF, but generally ferrum phos we use in 6x potency as directed by Master EK. So we are using that. And skin also, there will be some skin problems will be there in ferrum phos. Patient will have, I told you, first stage of inflammation, redness and fever. These are the important symptoms of ferrum phosphoricum. This we call it as FP, ferrum phosphoricum. Then 11th salt we go for magnesium phosphoricum. This is Magnesia Phos, MP, we call it as Member of Parliament, remember. And note on the first symptom as this is one of the best remedies for all kinds of pains. All kinds of pains. Instead of using an allopathic painkiller, you try with Magnesia Phos. 90% of the cases can be cured without allopathy. You need not use any painkiller in allopathy. Just take MP in 6x potency. Magnesia phos or phosphate of magnesia. Patient is having mind symptom of forgetfulness, dullness, and he cannot undertake any mental work. And the patient in extreme stages, they will be talking to themselves, very moody, and there will be chilliness. Patient is better by application of warmth, very acute pains, either headache or stomach ache, any aches or any pains. Think of magnesia phos. And there will be relief from pressure, but most frequently the relief is from walking and in open air. This is a relief will be there. Vertigo will be there, and neurological pains also. You can think of magnesia phosphoricum. And the patient has a earache in washing face and neck, and in cold water there will be pains in the ear and nose. Tongue generally clean with the pain in stomach. I told you, pain. That is the keynote symptom of magnesia phosphoricum. Even toothache, gastric problems with the pain, stomach pain is there. You can give morning magnesia phos, night natrum phos, two tablets in 6x potency will help a lot. And as told in natrum phos, here also there is flatulent colic, downward gas with the stomach pain. You can think of this medicine. And stomach is bloated, full sensation in abdomen, must loosen clothing. Is wearing a lungi, he asks us to loosen it. Then he will walk a little, then pain is better. Magnesium phos is also one of the best remedies for paralysis. Generally, paralysis, the movement of the hands and legs will not be there. So there is no blood circulation, there will be pains. So two important remedies for paralysis. Morning Magnesium phos 6x, 2 or 3 tablets. Night Kali phos 6x, 2 or 3 tablets for almost all paralytic patients, the pain will be reduced. This is one of the important symptoms. Even to relieve the pains during pregnancy or at the time of delivery, magnesia phos also can be used if you are permitted to use the medicine for a lady who is in labor room. That you can think of that. That is the point. And nervous pains will be there. So always pains, pains, pains. This is one of the important remedy. And all pains of this remedy are worse on the right side from cold air, draught of air, cold washing, and from touch. So they are better by heat, warmth, and bending double and friction. So open air, it relieves even headache and vertigo of magnesia phosphorica. This is called MP6X. That is what we use. The last, the 12th salt we are going to discuss is Silesia. This is made from silica. This is one of the very important remedies. Silesia, what the name we have given nickname is sub-inspector. It probes and it brings the pus out. It brings anything foreign material is there, it brings out. That is why, please note down, please, very important point. Do not prescribe Silesia for pregnant ladies. Possibility of tries to bring out even the fetus, that is abortion may happen. Need not. But don't use Silesia for pregnant ladies. Even if it is indicated, don't use for pregnant ladies. This is Silesia. So SiO2 is the chemical formula, and this is a pure flint or quartz. It is nothing but siliceous earth. So this is a silica is one of the important remedies in construction activities. So this silesia also is one of the important remedies in construction activities. The patient, anything suppuration is there, any dead matter in the body, that it will bring out. It will collect pus from various areas, and through either nose or mouth or through stools, it is expelled out. And also through skin complaints. Silesia is one of the best remedies for vitiligo and also all kinds of skin problems because it brings out, it expels all the dead matter from the body. So this is one of the best remedies when you find the suppuration injury where the pus is not coming out. Then after the pus comes out, I told you calcareous sulfurica, which is the blood purifier, and also it heals up. So first you give Silesia, let all the pus come out. For healing purpose, give calcareous sulfurica. So patient is completely cured. These 12 salts almost cover the entire set of symptoms and the entire humanity. Not only humanity, all kinds of beings. Silesia is one of the best remedies to be used for all kinds of this agro-homeopathy, the insects and other things where the plant is injured because of the weight of the insect. You can think of Silesia. Okay, that is again agro-homeopathy. So deep-seated separations. It's a somewhere in the body, somewhere pus is formed. So they will give antibiotic. Antibiotic may also kill the good bacteria. So Silesia is one of the best remedies. And remember, one more important point is there will be sweat in the palms and feet. So the student, I treated one student, were used to use kerchief while writing the notes because the notes will become wet, even examination. So foot sweat and also the palm sweat, Silesia is one of the best remedies. Remember, and is very oversensitive to noise. We cannot listen to very loud noises. Of course, vertigo is there, headache is there. This headache more on right side, aggravated by noise, I told you, or exertion, or aggravated by light, and the headache also better by warmth application. This you have to remember this. The eye also, some pains, styes are there, styes, there will be extra growths. So any tumors you can think of, but not internal tumors. The tumors which are not visible to the common eye, there is something inside. Please don't give Silesia. This is one of the cautions I am telling. And one mind symptom is letters run together when reading or writing. You can see letters running, that he will tell that. And he cannot bear the sound, so sensitive to loud sounds. And tip of the nose is red. That is one symptom of Silesia. There will be sneezings. Sneezings, the best remedy is natron sulf. Remember, natron sulf. Silesia also works when there is inside some separation is there. So mouth also separation in the glands, that will work. And teeth, gums are painful, and throat enlarged thyroid gland. This is one of the best remedies. And gastric symptoms for children, those vomit immediately after drinking milk, Silesia can be given. In homeopathy, we give Ethuja, Aethusa. Ethuja will be there. That you can think of it. And the patient is having large abdomen, children, large abdomen, enlarged glands, constipation will be there, and chronic catheter of the bladder, urinary bladder problem, menses during lactation, nursing mother, the menses comes, this is symptom of Silesia, and there will be heaviness in the person, and respiratory symptoms are also there. So there is soreness between shoulders, spinal culture, this one between the shoulders, there will be pain, and pain while writing something, that is also Silesia will work. And fits, epilepsy, that is occurring at night, and irritability will be there. Patient is irritable, and exhaustion, and sweat is another very important symptom. I told you this is at night, and appetite is lost. The sweat smells bad. All kinds of skin complaints where everything has to go out. This one point I wanted to tell you. There are many people asking medicines for skin problem. Skin is the outermost layer. The vital force in us, the simple substance what I told, that will take care of the person. Everything is to go out only, and ultimate layer is skin. Something comes on the skin, please do not use ointments. The body has made some arrangement of expelling all the bad material, and we have 9 natural orifices are there. 10th door is opened by the person, by the body inside, and through the skin it goes out. Maybe in the form of sweat, maybe in the form of pustules, then pus, blood, or something. So after giving homeopathic remedy, correct remedy, if the skin complaint is aggravated or skin complaint appears something on the skin, feel happy, because all the bad material is coming out, and inside all the important organs are safe. The terrorists or any other person threatening to the country should be only at the border. A terrorist should not come into the middle of Bangalore. As long as he is there and on the border, outside the border, our border security force is there, I can sleep happily in Bangalore. Like that, the disease at the outermost layer, the person inside will be very safe. But there is disease in the chest, heart, or some important brain or kidneys, something affected, it is very dangerous to the person. So remember, whenever there is a skin complaint, please feel happy and take medicine, and accordingly the symptoms you take, and skin is the least one to bother. Please do not apply any ointments. The patient is better by heat in warm room, and in the summer, this is one symptom, and worse in the open air and cold air. This is the symptom. So these are the biochemic salts which I promised to Dr. Satyanarayana Garu. I finished all the 12 salts, and I told in a different way than what Dr. Omega has said. He has gone in very elaborate way. I have just brushed it, refreshed it, and easy to remember. So I thank Satyanarayana Garu for again calling me, and I thank you all for your patient hearing. Thank you very much.